Today we're going to be taking a look at Raphael's Marriage of the Virgin, or Marriage of the Madonna. It's from the Italian Renaissance, and one of the reasons that this is a really good model for us of what's going on in the Italian Renaissance is that it captures a lot of the elements that we see, especially in the southern parts. One of the things that you'll see very clearly here is the dominance of geometric shapes and perspectives. When you look at the School of Athens, you'll see this again. But if you notice the door in the building in the middle, that's our vanishing point. And so what's going to set this painting apart from paintings of the Middle Ages is the idea that it's supposed to have some feeling of depth. And you certainly see Raphael here showing off to his audience that he is really good at creating that depth by having such strong geometric elements, the rectangles that fade, and then the steps as well, and in the building. The color palette is very typical of the southern Italian Renaissance as well, and we have here very diffused light shadows. We see lots of reds and tans and browns. That's a color palette that would have been much more familiar for the Italians. One of the other characteristics of this particular painting that's useful for us in understanding the Renaissance is that the figures, as you can see, are all painted as if they were living during the Italian Renaissance. So it was typical for many painters to choose a famous biblical story, in this case the marriage of Mary and Joseph, and then to update it by putting it in a setting that the audience would recognize. And so you have the courtiers on the right and the ladies in waiting on the left, and then a priest in the middle who would be overseeing this. Now, that time it would have been a rabbi, but obviously for an Italian Christian group, this is not something that's very important. So these are some of the characteristics that we really would associate with the Italian Renaissance. Use of perspective, choice of a religious subject, and the color palette. So think about those as you begin to look more at some of the other paintings from the Renaissance.